Let's take a look at how you examine the permissions for groups and individuals in a SharePoint site. I'm going to click the Settings button and choose Site Settings, and I will see a whole lot of settings because I'm an administrator, an owner on this site. If you're not an owner on this site, you may not see very much here. You might only see a couple of choices, and that would let you know that you don't have the sufficient permission to do what we're going to do right now. I'm going to click in the Users and Permissions group, Site Permissions. These are the groups that are set up for this site, and if there were any individuals listed, they would also show here. But I don't have any individuals who have permissions on this site. That's a good thing. So here is the No Obstacles Members group, the No Obstacles Owners group, and the No Obstacles Visitors group. So let's go take a look at the permissions that have been given to each of those. Broadly, the members can edit, owners have full control, and visitors can read. But it's actually a little more interesting than that. So if I choose this group, I can click to edit user permissions, and that also lets me view them. So if you're a member of the No Obstacles Incorporated group, you can edit. Now notice that you can edit and add and delete lists. So these are broader permissions on lists. You could create a list, you could also delete it. And you have the ability to view, add, update, and delete list items and documents. So no ability to create libraries, but the ability to create lists. And also some limited access with specific lists, document libraries, list items, folders, or documents when given special permission. So there's some limited access in some specific settings because on some sites, this members group has been given more limited access. But right now, we're really looking at someone who can create lists and who has the ability to be able to add items to lists and add items to document libraries. Now, let's take a look at the permissions for our visitors. Our visitors can view pages and list items, and they can download documents. So they have the ability to have a document offline, but they can't save the document back to the SharePoint site. So this is a little bit more than read-only. We often think that read-only means that you can simply read, but you can't actually edit a document. They can, but the edited copy can't be resaved to SharePoint by this user. Let's contrast that with view only. They can view pages, list items, and documents, but they can't download a document. So if we really meant a user to have view-only permissions, and we're going to have some of those, then we would want to create a different group than the visitors group, and we'll be doing that in a little bit. Now let's go take a look and find out what our owners can do. Once again, I select the group, I click Edit User Permissions, full control. So the owner can do anything. All of the permissions that are listed here. I can view and add and update, delete, approve, and customize. I can accidentally do things I wish I hadn't done. This is a lot of power to have. So owners are your full control folks on the site. Now that's how you find out what permissions there are for groups. How would I find out what permission an individual has? Well, whether I want to know about an individual or a group, I can click the Check Permissions button. And if, for example, I want to find out what Mark Lassie's permissions were, I can enter Mark, click Check Now, and I'll find that Mark has read permissions because he's a member of the visitors group, but he also has edit permissions because he is a member of the members group. You might think, why is he a member of both groups? Because he's in another group that's been added to both of those groups. This isn't unusual. Let's go do that again, and let's take a look at what our CEO's permissions look like. So I'm going to check the permissions for Gerald Leonard. Gerald is a member of one group, the members group, and by being a member of that group, has edit permissions. So this is how you check to find out what kind of permissions a user or a group has. If I'd like to see the permission levels on the site as a whole, I can simply click Permission Levels, and I will see all of the possible permissions that are here. including full control, limited access, and so on. Note that I could actually delete some of these permission levels, but two of them I can't. I can't delete full control, and I can't delete limited access. So this is how we see what permissions are available to what groups. If the groups that are here meet all of my needs, that's fine. I simply add members to these groups, and we'll see how to do that next. But if I don't have all of the groups I need, I can create my own security groups. And we're also going to learn about that in this section of the course.